How do you beat Uncle Sam? You ready for this? You have to pay the tax to beat Uncle Sam. So when you're looking at $1 million IRA, that is not your money. That is a loan from Uncle Sam. And he always collects. So when we start breaking that reality down to people and they start understanding, it's like, oh, shoot, I did take all that money out pre-tax 20 years ago and it compounded tax-free. And when I take it out, it's going to be income tax. So we have to get real strategic on what we start thinking about that IRA money, because people lose the most important tax planning years of their retirement because they're in denial. That is the hardest part in our job, to get our retirement planners to convince retirees to start paying tax on their terms and having their own tax plan, as opposed to using Uncle Sam's tax plan. What's Uncle Sam's tax plan? It's waiting till your RMDs. It's waiting till 73 and taking out the minimum. How do we make sure we get the most money taxes? Because people aren't calling the IRS and saying, hey, could you help me save money in taxes? No. So why are we using their plan for our IRA? Yet almost all of America does it, right? I'm just going to take out the minimum. Why? Because I pay the least amount of taxes. Well, what do you think happens when you die? The big miss is that people miss out on all that pre-planning during retirement. They don't have a plan because everyone tells you how to put money in your 401k. They don't say how to take it out. So over the course of retirement, you don't touch it. And that means you don't spend it, which is even the worst part. And a lot of times it could be your biggest asset in retirement. But you get there and then the first spouse dies. Your tax rates can sometimes double because you go from a couple rate to a single rate. But you have to take the same amount of money out of your IRAs. So now you're paying more of every dollar that comes out. And that's what matters. What percentage goes to Uncle Sam and what percentage stays in my family? But it gets worse. When the surviving spouse passes and goes to the kids, it gets taxed at the kids' rates, not mom and dad's, who a lot of times are working in their highest earning years. We call that the kiddos penalty. The widows and the kiddos penalty smacks you around because you waited and used Uncle Sam's plan for maybe your largest account in retirement because you didn't want to pay the tax. So at the end of the day, Randy, the way to beat Uncle Sam, the way to essentially change the script is to start taking money out over the course of retirement when you're alive, you're healthy, you're in your lower retirement tax brackets. Maybe you haven't turned Social Security on, maybe you have. But if you haven't, you can save even more and you get it de-taxed on your terms and your plan. That's what we call our IRA tax plan. The idea is to get that thing de-taxed before either of you pass away. So now it's either converted to a Roth or you got it outside of the IRA tax trap. And now you get to enjoy passing that money on to your kids without it coming with a tax bill.